Gotta have a hobby. Gotta do something else. Can't work all day long. Beautiful day in the park in Boston. This is the Commons. It's lovely, fall day, you know, swans in the park and all that. I thought it'd be a great time to answer some questions. I've been, falling a little behind on Ask Mr. Wonderful, but there's one constant theme I get all the time. This one's from Millie, but it's the same thing. Do you think there are common successful attributes in people? And I guess what she's asking is, can you find a string of things that is the same for people that are successful? Do they all do the same thing? Well, of course they don't all do the same thing, but I have found over time in working with lots of CEOs, and that's business, but also artists, musicians, photographers, those kinds of watch collectors. There are some elements of their lives that I find are consistent, and I want to share them with you today. First of all, this concept of priorities. Now, I learned this from a woman CEO years ago, to actually carry with you all the time, and I have it right here. If I don't have my big notebook, I carry a small one with me, paper, just paper. And what I've got in here are notes, and I carry a pen with me all the time. I love to collect pens. This is a new Egyptian Mont Blanc. When something hits me, wherever I am, I remember to write it down. And the reason I do that is I build a priority set that I put down each night. And out of all the priorities of the day, I carry 3 into the next day. Because you can even see, here's a day, you can see that a bunch of stuff has been, a bunch of priorities there, but I've basically done them. I got them done. But this idea of prioritizing ends up being a really big deal. So that's attribute number 1. Politicians, teachers, generals, CEOs, they build a data set in their heads of things they've got to get done. And they don't do anything else until they've achieved those. For me, it's a sticky note on the mirror each night. I've talked about this countless times. And I don't do anything else till I get those 3 done. And they're built from the list that I generate during the day. So definitely for all successful people, regardless of what their discipline is, that idea of priority really matters. Number 2, you may find this interesting, but it's looking good and feeling good. I don't go out into the sun, and I've talked about them before, Tiege Hanley, skin creams and things that are really healthy for you, particularly for me, SPF, at least SPF 20. I got the chrome dome, I got to make sure it's looking good all the time. Before I came out here, I put some moisturizer on. So I dip into my kit, my Tiege Hanley kit. I find my morning application. It's all right on here. It says moisturizer with SPF 20. Exactly what I need. Protect the dome, don't let it burn around the nose and the eyes. That easy. And what I like about them is they send me a kit. It's got an instruction card in it. I don't have to think it through. Basically, each vial or bottle or tube tells me exactly what it's for. It's really easy to implement. It doesn't have any smelly perfumes, which I hate. So I'm constantly using it. Because they're sponsoring this YouTube video today, I obviously asked them for a deal. They're going to include a free toiletry bag. If you go to the first link in the description, you can get it there. Check that out, Tiege Hanley. I endorse it because I use it. I don't endorse products I don't use. But hey, you got to have the dome looking good all the time. And skin, you've got to keep it moisturized and you've got to keep it out of the sun. I don't care who you are. That really matters. Now, something else that's really important is, and I can't stress this enough, and the more I experience this with people, the more I believe it to be true. You have to have another passion besides the one that is your discipline. In other words, if you're a teacher, you have to do something else that's not teaching. If you're a CEO and you're just driven by business, which entrepreneurs really are, you've got to find a passion. That's really important. And I don't care whether it's music or whether it's playing an instrument or it's collecting watches. I love to do that too. You can have multiple passions. I love pens, I love watches, I love guitars, I love photography. They distract me from the intensity of my core discipline, which is business. I'm an investor, I'm an entrepreneur. I invest in companies. I try and help them work. And that gives me financial freedom, which of course is very important, but I got to do something else. I have to. And, you know, that I find more and more is a really big deal with successful people. They're very disciplined in what they do well, in their main focus in life, yes, but they've also got other passion. It can be a single passion or it can be multiple. And that yin and yang, which I've spoken of so many times, is so important. There's no question about that. You know, when I really think through what has helped me so much, and those that I really follow and that I admire, you know, everybody's got a mentor, and there's always somebody that's more successful than you and you can learn from them. I don't care how successful you are. There's always somebody that's better, and you should realize that in your life, and that's okay. There's always something to learn. But those people, to me, look good, they feel good, they have priorities, and they make sure that they attempt some kind of yin and yang. I didn't say balance, because if you're an entrepreneur, there's no balance. You're going to be working 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. I mean, that's just the way it is, but you can find the time to be productive in that way. It doesn't mean, you know, you abandon your family and all that stuff. I'm talking about the intensity of your focus. And so I wanted to get that out. I really felt that, you know, I've got so many questions along the same line that's basically the way I feel about it. It's not something that you immediately find intuitive, but you will find over time that these attributes matter. So let's summarize. Prioritization, putting that list together, writing it down really works. Looking good, feeling good, taking care of yourself, no question about it. You know, being extremely focused on your own discipline is great, but have other passions. Watch collecting, love that. I've talked about music, all that stuff. You got to do all that. You have to find that yin and yang. And all of a sudden you'll find a new energy that comes up if you try and follow these disciplines. Life's really interesting that way. You're always learning from it. Take care, my friends. Till next time.